Dude, remember when Han shot first?
Yeah, dude, remember when Han's the only one who shot? Those are the shirts we need, not a Han shot first. We need a Han only shot.
Right. Dude, gosh, that was like the worst thing that ever happened, I think, ever watching Star Wars was when the special editions came out, like at the late 90s, and you just see this like complete like fuck show, of like changes that happened to the movies. But then like the worst one was they change it to Greedo shooting, and then they take Han and like just make him like move over like half a foot. And it's just the weirdest, most awkward thing in the world.
Yeah, it is terrible looking, dude. There's so many, all the different iterations that they've done since. But that original one, dude, when special editions came out, man, where they just like, oh, we're just going to take this character just like over to the side, dude. And this bounty hunter misses him point blank like that. Like, get out of here, dude.
You'd think that like with Lucasfilm and Industrial Light and Magic, they could have done something a little bit better with their money than to like this really choppy, crappy, grainy looking Han just getting like shifted to the side. And then they do it again like years later where then Greedo shoots, or no, what was the second one they did? They did where it was like
simultaneous.
Yeah, they shoot at the same time. And it's just like, so Han's doing this like while he's shooting. It's just so weird.
Yeah, they put all of that budget went into the new Jabba the Hutt scene, dude. They didn't have enough money to make Han look good.
It takes away from the whole scene, dude, because like you're introduced to Mos Eisley, you're introduced to the cantina. It's this madness, dark place with all this scum and villainy, as they say, and Han Solo is just a pirate. He's a smuggler. He's a bad guy. He's not a good guy. Like, you don't know who he is yet. And so him shooting first and being the only one who shoots is like a great character feature for him, because it's basically like this guy's a fucking ass and he's going to just protect himself and he'll kill anybody for anything. And it's awesome. But then when they make Greedo shoot first, it just completely changes his character and his introduction to the whole film.
Yeah, dude, 100%, dude. Like 100%, because they almost set it up to where they're like, all right, we're going to change this and give you what Han turns into by the end of Jedi. Kind of the same way that Rian Johnson did with The Last Jedi. It's like, we're going to give you crazy Yoda before he tells Luke that he's Yoda, and we're going to give you crybaby Luke before he starts his Jedi training. It's like, that doesn't make sense. We're past that in a time frame already. It's like the same thing. Like, this isn't Han after the events of these three movies, dude. Like, this is Han coming into this, and he's a dangerous guy. And it really makes the whole sequence too very strange, man, when he flips the coin at the bartender, because that's kind of like that badass exit sequence, dude, where it's just like, yeah, I took care of it, see you. It's like, that makes no sense after it's considered what would be a self-defense thing after he dodges that initial blast. Like, why flip the coin and look like a hard ass then? Like, you got lucky then.
Yeah, he's just like, pay my tab, bitch,
Yeah, right, exactly, dude.
Like, I don't give a shit. I am this badass dude, and no one's going to mess with me. And if you mess with me, I'm going to shoot you in the head. Like, that's Han Solo. And his character doesn't even start getting better until Episode 5 anyway. Like, Empire Strikes Back is when you start to see that better side of him, which is brought upon by Leia. But the entire first movie, he's an asshole, man. He doesn't give a shit about anybody. He's not willing to risk his neck for anybody. The whole movie, from start to finish, he is in it for him. And you don't see that change until later on. So to bring this in so early on is just like, it's the antithesis of his character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, in The Last Jedi, like, we're getting crybaby, giving up on the world Luke, where it's like, no, he should be past that by now. Same thing with this. I don't want to see a good Han Solo in the first movie. You got to wait until this next one to see that. Like, it's frustrating.
100%, man. And it makes this, dude, it really just, it changes the whole context of that character, and it doesn't give you this fear of this guy just like, he's a smuggler, dude. He's a smuggler, swindler, just badass character, man. And the only moment that you get from Han in that whole movie, based on the original version, dude, is when he shows up at the end to help Luke at the Death Star. That's that quick redeeming moment, which he immediately relinquishes in Empire, which, if it's not for the Empire showing up where he has to get Leia out of there, who knows where Han's journey goes. So it's almost like a blessing in disguise how Hawk got infiltrated, because it really allowed Han to come into his home and build that love story with him and Leia. There was so much that was riding on him getting Leia out of there. There's no reason to see him do an act of good deed, dude. Like, the introduction to his character, he is a hard-ass smuggler, like straight up.
He is, and I think it's, just to end on this point, I really think it's a disservice to Harrison Ford as an actor, because Harrison Ford is one of those actors, he's very similar to Kurt Russell, he's very similar to Bruce Campbell. He's like, basically, his characters are these like 1930s, 1920s hard-ass noir dudes. Like
men's men, dude.
Men's men, right? Think of the first scene of Indiana Jones, right? The Raiders of the Lost Ark. The first thing you see of Indiana Jones is when they're about to get him, and he turns around and boom, pulls the gun and shoots him, and then he comes in from the darkness, and like you see that badass fucking, Harrison Ford, dude. It's the same thing. Like, his introduction is key, and he plays those characters, those hard ass man's men, people, and that's what this was. Originally, that's what it was. He was the badass who's just going to shoot first, ask questions later.
The men that live their like 5 o'clock shadow at a time, dude.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, but fuck the 1997 special edition of Star Wars.